If this world were
High
mine,
volume.
Hey, I'ma know 7 days, drop it like it's hot. If this world was mine, I'd take your dreams and make them multiply. If this world was mine, I'd take your enemies in front of God. Introduce them to that light, hit them strictly with that fire.
Good morning, Luxfulness family. Today is Thursday, April 10th. I know I have not talked to y'all in this manner, face to face, in a few months now, maybe about a month or so. I won't say a few months. So let's do a quick catch up. So y'all saw me celebrate my son's birthday or pick up some things to celebrate his birthday. My son turned 24. He's my only child. If you are new here, welcome to all of my new Lux for Less family members. Y'all, about a month ago, I had to go to the emergency room. I didn't show that to you all, but I did. I ended up having to go to the emergency room. So I was at home one day in the middle of my work day, and that day I woke up feeling real sluggish, which, you know, for someone my age, that's not really abnormal per se, but I woke up feeling especially sluggish and my chest was heavy. It wasn't in pain, it wasn't tight or anything like that. It just felt like, you know how you feel when you have to like burp and you have like gas in your chest? That's what it felt like. So I went on about my morning, went on about my day, and as the day progressed, I just progressively felt, you know, a little bit worse, you know, as the day went on. I was talking to my best friend, and when I got off the phone with her, I was like, "Oh, man, I don't feel good." I didn't feel good while I was talking to her, but I didn't mention it to her. By the time I got off the phone, y'all, I felt so bad. My hands were shaking. Like, I started breathing heavy. I took my blood pressure because we have a in-home blood pressure monitor. Blood pressure was high for what I'm used to. I don't have a history of high blood pressure, so my blood pressure was like 143 over something, and for me, that is high. Y'all, I got up and I said, you know, let me call my husband, because my husband, he and I had just texted maybe a few minutes before that, and he told me he was on his way home. I called him. I said, "Are you close?" I was breathing so hard. And he was like, "Yes." I was like, "I need you to take me to the emergency room." Because had he not been close, I would have called the ambulance. That's how bad I felt. Y'all, ended up going to the emergency room. Emergency room experience was horrible. It was so bad that the one of the people from the hospital ended up calling me because it was that bad, because I voiced a complaint. Now, I'm not one to necessarily complain about any little thing, but that I definitely did voice a complaint about, and it got somebody's attention because they ended up calling me. Anyway, that's another story. Y'all, my iron was so low. So then, y'all, fast forward, I had to set in motion. You know, I had to get, I told myself, girl, you need to you're getting older. You need to really focus on your health and make sure things are the way that they should be. So that set in motion me getting, setting up an appointment for my routine colonoscopy. If you are of a certain age and you haven't had it, you need to go ahead and schedule that. Also, I followed up with my OBGYN, and he and I talked about my fibroids. My fibroids are getting larger, so we're going to be making some decisions about trying to remedy that. But y'all, I had to get on an iron pill, a daily iron pill, which I'm kind of still not feeling too good about, because I don't like taking medicine every day. I don't like taking a maintenance medicine, but you know, sometimes you need things to keep you healthy, especially as you get, you know, especially as you get older. And it just is what it is. So that's that. I had my physical with my primary care physician. Child, all my labs was off. Anything that was related to iron, like red blood cells, hemoglobin, all of it was abnormal. B1 was low. Vitamin D was especially low. And I think in one of my mini vlogs, I even told you all that I was pretty significantly vitamin D deficient, and I was outside walking because, you know, vitamin D, the natural sun, gives life. So, you know, if you ever feel sick, like if you have a cold, the flu or whatever, and you have the strength, just go sit in some sun. The sun gives life. It does. So I try to, you know, get as much sun as I can. I work from home, so I'm inside most of the day. 90% of the day I'm inside. So I try to make a conscious effort to go outside sometimes when I'm letting the dog out and just sit, by the pool or whatever and let the sun just kind of kiss me. I'm here this morning at Borland Groover Clinic. I'm here to get speak to the gastroenterologist about my routine colonoscopy. I had to do a consult first. I wasn't just gonna let them, do a blind colonoscopy on me and I never even meet the doctor. Hello. So that's where I am today. And then y'all, in a couple weeks, I'm going to be celebrating a milestone birthday. I'm going to be celebrating birthday 50. Y'all, I know to some of y'all might be like, oh girl, 50, people turn 50 every day. True. But less and less people are turning 50 every day. There are a lot of people who did not get to see the age that I'm approaching. So I have said this before. I celebrate every birthday because I know, baby, it did not, a lot of people didn't make it. So to me, my birthday is my holiday. And I hope you all celebrate your birthdays as well, because there's a lot of people in the cemetery looking up from the other side of the dirt. So that's all I wanted to catch y'all up on. I know that was a lot, child. That was a mouthful, but I haven't talked to y'all in this way in a long time, and I kind of miss talking to y'all this way. So those are all the updates I wanted to share with you so far. Enjoy the rest of the vlog. So this is my first time at this office. As I said earlier, this is a office visit for a routine colonoscopy. We did go ahead and get the colonoscopy scheduled. However, because I do have another upcoming appointment around the same time, we may have to reschedule it because I don't want to have two procedures that are going to require me to be under general anesthesia too close together. So better to be safe than sorry. After I left the doctor's office, I went to UPS, had to drop off more Amazon returns, child. Listen, Amazon is taking days to get my stuff. Later on that day for lunch, I made me a salad with salmon bites. This was so good. I did a teriyaki glaze on it. It was so good, y'all. I can't wait to make it again for lunch. Then later on that week, this was actually Friday of the same week, I went and picked up dinner for us. I do not cook dinner on Fridays. We had wings for dinner. Y'all, look how dark the sky was. This day, y'all, it poured down. It actually had some hail in Jacksonville. Y'all remember this arcade game, Centipede? Y'all remember that? Everybody does. This day, y'all, this was on Saturday. The very next day, I went to Dollar Tree because I had a volunteer event at my job. We were putting together Easter baskets for some children in one of the inner city neighborhoods here in the city I live, Jacksonville. So I picked up some things to contribute to those efforts to stuff the Easter baskets. And y'all, looking at this stuff, I said, I'm going to make my baby an Easter basket. He's 24. He hasn't had an Easter basket in a long time, but Mama is going to make him an Easter basket because, sometimes I kind of miss him being a little kid. I don't miss him being a little kid, but then I do. But then, y'all, I was like, what goes in the Easter basket? I picked up some stuff, and this is what it was. Then I headed on over to my job, y'all. It was a beautiful day this day. It was actually kind of chilly. I was very surprised. I'm sure where you are, you're probably experiencing some of that true spring weather where it's cool in the morning, hot during the day, and cool at night as well. This was this day. This is me at work with the starting to assemble the Easter baskets, and then it was over probably in about 2 hours. Then I left because we actually had to go deliver the Easter baskets to the facility where they were going to go. After I left there, I went to Good Dough to get me a donut. I hadn't had anything to eat all morning, and I have a hair salon appointment later on, so I didn't want to be sitting in the hair salon not having had anything to eat. This is my hair. She always does a great job. I love my hair. Always so pretty.
If there's a question of my love, you got it.
First stop at the mall is going to be JcPenney. JcPenney in the springtime is really a good time to get dresses. I had a dress just like this one time. It was pink. I had wore it to a Kentucky Derby party. I have since sold it. This was a nice color. I really did like this, but that jacket, I can just imagine in the summertime it's gonna be way too hot. These brown pants, I was interested in them until I picked them up. I didn't really like the quality per se on them. I don't know. I did something about them was weird. This jacket, y'all, though, this jacket was nice. If it was in my size, I probably would have picked it up. It was a good price, and I think it was an extra percentage off of that pink tag. Don't quote me on that. Y'all, clearly somebody that works in wardrobe or fashion design or whatever is a member of the Divine Nine, because I tell you, no lie, every single year, make no error, I'm going to see something pink and green. Shout out to my D9 sisters. You know who you are. Then I headed on over to Express. I tend to go on Express from time to time. I like Express sometimes, and then sometimes I don't, because sometimes they're closed in the in-store locations anyway. Not too much online, but sometimes the things that they carry in store, it tends to look a little monotonous. Like you kind of see the same thing over and over to me. Now online, like I said, is a different story. This shirt right here reminded me of that shirt that was all the rave with Zara last year. I guess this is their version of it. This is a nice romper. I did pick this up, y'all. It was $19.97, so $20, and then I had $10 in Express cash, so I did pick that up for only $10. It actually fits really well. Then I went over to Belk. Belk is another sleeper store, y'all. I did like this Brahmin. It's coming up more of a cream, but it was really white. And then y'all know Kiss Lock. All the designers are jumping on that Kiss Lock trend. It's kind of a, oversized coin purse, if you will. Not Kurt Geiger. Who is this man? Karl Lagerfeld. Yeah, Karl Lagerfeld. It has a really nice section in Belk as well. I did like this dress. I probably can get it at the outlet a little bit less expensive. I'm going to be going to Orlando in a couple weeks, so I'm definitely going to stop in the outlet to see if they have it, because I did like the colors, and I did like this dress as well. Kind of reminds me of like a tennis style or sailor style dress, but I did like it. This jacket, it was really, really, really good quality, y'all. But like I said, I'm gonna hop into the outlet store in Orlando when I go down there. These Sam Edelman jeans were really cute, but they were kind of confusing to me, because on the front they had this really nice sequin, if you will, but then on the back, nothing. Like, why you didn't just take that all the way around the jean? Then I was hungry, y'all, because remember I said I hadn't eaten anything all day except for that donuts. I went to Chick-fil-A, which is right around the corner from the Avenues Mall, same parking lot almost. Went to Insomnia Cookies because I decided to pick up some cookies. I was heading over to my in-laws' house, and I was like, let me just take them something sweet while I was over there. Child, they told them cookies up. I tasted one of these cookies. I didn't really like it. It tasted, I don't know. I just didn't really like it. So I'm headed over to my in-laws' house now, y'all. This is a great view of the city. This is our stadium where the Jacksonville Jaguars play. The stadium is closed. Our Jaguars are going to be playing out of town for the next couple years while the stadium is under renovation. Then later on that night, my husband and I went to Longhorn. And y'all, look at the moon. Look at the moon, y'all. That was my vlog, y'all, for the week. Thanks so much for spending the week with me. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already, be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Lux74_less, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.